Alex Lees puts Durham in control with excellent 181-run knock. Leicestershire have been creating historic moments in T20 cricket over the past couple of weeks, so their return to County Championship action came with a bump. Just one win picked up so far this term, leaving them marooned at the bottom of Division 2. Durham's season has been a mixed bag. They sit in mid-table in the division, with a promotion place still within touching distance as they chase Northants, Glamorgan and Gloucestershire in the battle for the slots behind Lancashire. The travelling side hope to take advantage of overhead conditions and put their host Durham under pressure. But the Foxes' attack would struggle to make inroads, Cameron Steele and Alex Lees starting well as the innings got underway. Durham ploughed their way past 50, both men looking in good touch, but Lees taking the attack to the Leicestershire bowlers. But he lost his opening partner a few balls later. Ackerman held on to a sharp edge from the bowling of Griffiths to see Steele depart for 24. They remained untroubled through to lunch though, going into the break at 95 for 1. The score quickly moved past 100, Lees in control of the Durham innings as the Foxes continued to toil at the resumption of play. They finally found some joy. Angus Robson trapped LBW for 16 by Will Davis. That brought Hanscom to the crease and he stuck with Lees as the Durham opener accelerated. His third century of the season came off the back of a shaky over from right, punctuated by consecutive boundaries off the bat of Lees. Hanscom had played well alongside him and was looking good when he was trapped LBW for 29 for Wright's first victim of the day. But from there, Lees kicked on. Now joined by Jack Burnham, the Durham man continued to plunder boundaries from the Foxes' attack. They reached tea at 254 for 3, well in control of the match. After tea, the home side tightened their grip, Lees bringing up his 150 shortly after the resumption. On they batted, untroubled by Leicestershire, Burnham picking up a 50 of his own with the side on the cusp of 300. That was reached in emphatic style, Burnham blasting Davis for 6. The punishment continued before finally, with Durham closing in on 350, Lees fell. Abbas the man to bring an end to his mammoth innings, pinning the opener LBW for 181. Burnham batted on and began to tiptoe closer to his own century, but he wouldn't get there. His impressive knock was brought to an end by Davis, caught behind by Swindles for 86. And just a few overs later, the day came to an end, with Durham an impressive 368 for 5. They had Alex Lees to thank for the bulk of those runs, his knock of 181 ably supported by Burnham. Leicestershire will hope the momentum swings in their direction if they're to play their way back into this match. Durham enforce follow-on at Chester Street for the first time since 2017 as Foxes falter. Durham put Leicestershire under significant pressure on day 2. They batted their way through the first day and continued that form before declaring, putting the Foxes into bat, chasing a huge target of 544. By the time the second day had come to a close, they'd managed to knock just 152 runs off that total, but had lost 4 wickets in the process, finishing the day with night watchman Chris Wright joined by Colin Ackerman. They would be the pair tasked with getting day 3 off to a good start for the visitors, but things didn't go to plan. Rain removed Ackerman early on, caught by Hanscom at second slip for 13. And Wright followed a few overs later, Cars finding an edge through to Eckersley, the night watchman gone for 27. Swindles and Dearden offered a little more resistance, the pair digging in and taking the Leicestershire score past 200. The rain-affected first session was brought to a close with lunch called. Leicestershire 220 for 6. The wickets of Wright and Ackerman, the only 2 to fall on day 3 so far. That may have given the visitors a bit of added belief that they'd be able to avoid the follow-on. Durham's potent attack roared back into life at the restart. Just one boundary had been added to the score before the evergreen Chris Rushworth struck, Swindles trapped in front, out for 24. And Dearden fell to the next ball, Cars picking up his 5th of the innings as he too rapped the pads. And he had another in his next over, Davis picking out Rimington to depart for 1, Cars recording his best ever first-class figures. And Rushworth wrapped up the innings in the next over, Griffiths bowled for 1, Leicestershire all out for 236. Still 308 runs behind Durham's first innings score. The home side enforced the follow-on as they pursued an early finish to the match. As with the start to their first innings, the Foxes began well, both Horton and Azad watchful as they got their unenviable task underway. The pair took their side past 50, the going slow but steady. They reached tea at 67 without loss, 241 runs behind Durham. The partnership continued after tea, both batting well as the score ticked up towards 100. Durham finally got the breakthrough with the Foxes 4 runs short of 3 figures. Horton caught behind off the bowling of Rain for 35. Azad reached his half-century soon after the departure of his opening partner. Leicestershire pressed on, reaching 3 figures for the loss of just 1 wicket. Hope that they'd avoid an innings defeat was growing. It would be Cars who'd take Azad's wicket, the Foxes man falling to the short ball from the bowler for the second time in the match. Cosgrove and Dexter shared a solid partnership, just a few overs remaining until the close of play, and a well-earned rest for the Leicestershire batting lineup. Dexter couldn't make it all the way though, pinned LBW by Steele for 24. Stumps called with the fall of his wicket. Leicestershire now 155 runs behind Durham. The match is still Durham's to let go. Their attack had looked a little tired after enforcing the follow-on, but with some way for their opponents still to go before they even consider building a lead, a rest should see them return with renewed vigour. The Foxes' hopes lie with their middle order. Stick around for long enough on day 4 and the runs will come. Get out cheaply, and this one could be over before lunch. Cosgrove hits 100 and bats out the day to seal draw for Foxes in Durham. Leicestershire were doing well to avoid an innings defeat when play came to an end on the 3rd day at Chesterle Street. They'd finished the day 155 runs behind Durham for the loss of just 3 wickets. The late loss of Dexter a bitter pill to swallow after a good effort with the bat. In Mark Cosgrove and Colin Ackerman they had 2 men with bundles of experience, crucial to the Foxes if they were to retain hopes of forcing a result. And they made a good start on the 4th day, Cosgrove bringing his football skills out as he looked to flick a short ball on with his helmet. A conservative start meaning they went 12 overs before finally scoring the day's first boundary. They saw the side past 200, Durham's total now starting to look achievable. The pair stuck together through to the lunch interval, both men on the cusp of half-centuries, the side 220 for 3. And both men would reach their 50s in the same over after the interval. Cosgrove was first, cutting Cars to the boundary to reach his 50. Ackerman following with a pulled 4 off the last ball of the over. But that would be Ackerman's last boundary, the edge to Hanscom off Travaskis to depart for 56. Leicestershire's target was now into double figures, Cosgrove and Dearden ensuring it dropped below 50. Rain removed Dearden's off stump to leave the Foxes 5 down and trailing by 30 runs. Cosgrove remained as the anchor, Swindles joining him briefly before being trapped LBW by Rimington for 15. His would be the last wicket to fall before tea, Leicestershire reaching the break at 304 for 6, trailing Durham by just 4 runs. The deficit became a lead in the overs after the resumption of play, Cosgrove continuing to anchor, the odd boundary punctuating a defensive innings from the big Aussie. Travaskis did manage to pick up another wicket, Griffiths nicking one into the hands of Hanscom at first slip. And Chris Wright only survived 9 balls, bowled by Steele for 5. Cosgrove was running out of batting partners, but was able to enjoy himself for a moment, his 100 sealed with another 4, a just reward for an unselfish vigil at the crease. Bad light stop play with 10 scheduled overs remaining, and the players wouldn't return to the field, shaking hands on a draw, with Durham still requiring 2 wickets and 56 runs for victory. It had been an heroic effort from Mark Cosgrove, who curbed his attacking tendencies and stuck in there, batting out the day to earn the draw for Leicestershire, a result that had looked out of reach when they were asked to follow on midway through day 3. They remain bottom of the table, but are now just 5 points behind Worcestershire. Ultimately, the pitch offered little assistance to Durham's attack, so potent early in the match, and nullified as the wicket flattened. It was a missed opportunity for the side to give themselves an advantage in the closely fought promotion fight.